What is the grain of meat, and why should you cut against it? Imagine biting into a piece of meat and feeling it tough and chewy. That can often happen if you don't pay attention to how you cut it. Today, we're talking about the grain of meat and why cutting against it makes a big difference. The grain of meat is simply the direction of the muscle fibers or sinews running through the meat. These fibers look like long, parallel lines and are how the muscle tissue naturally forms. Different cuts of meat have different grain directions. Tougher cuts like flank steak or skirt steak tend to have longer, more noticeable fibers, while tender cuts like sirloin or tenderloin have shorter, finer fibers. When you cut meat, you want to cut against the grain. That means slicing perpendicular to the direction of the muscle fibers. Doing this breaks the long fibers into shorter pieces. Shorter fibers make the meat easier to chew and give it a more tender feel. If you cut with the grain, the fibers stay long and intact, making the meat chewier and tougher to eat. Knowing how to identify the grain is simple. Look at the meat and find the lines running through it. These are the muscle fibers. Use a sharp knife and make a small test cut to see if you're cutting across or along the fibers. When slicing, aim for a slight angle, about 45 degrees, to get even more tenderness. This technique is especially helpful when working with budget-friendly cuts like flank steak, skirt steak, or tri-tip. These cuts are often tougher but affordable. Cutting against the grain helps you enjoy these economical options without sacrificing texture. It also makes meal prep easier because you don't need expensive marinades or slow cooking to tenderize the meat. In practical terms, always examine the meat first, then cut across the fibers. This simple step can turn a tough piece of meat into a tender, enjoyable meal. It's a quick, effective way to get more out of budget cuts and make your everyday recipes taste better. Remember, breaking down the muscle fibers by cutting against the grain is a key trick to making any meat more tender and easier to eat.